Yep, back again for another review, not fragrance review today. A hair product one. From my understanding, this is a USA brand. I always thought it was Italian for some reason. Again, there are some products that I've reviewed in the past, like different pomades that are from Italy. I think it was Tanox one that was very good. But yeah, CREMO brand. Never heard of them before. Well, I have heard of them before, but I've never used a product by them before. So this is a clay. It's quite an interesting one because again, I tend to prefer using pomades in my hair generally because again, I tend to have more of a pompadour slick back look. Um, and in the past, when I've experimented with different clays and waxes, they tend to give a more natural look. What I've actually got in my hair is the CREMO or CREMO at the moment. So it does give a matte finish. That's what I will say. It does on the tin. It does say a high hold matte finish. Now, one part of that is very true. It does give a matte finish. It does hold the hair in place, but it's kind of like a weak hold. In the past, again, whenever I've used clay or even certain pomades, even gels, gel waxes, whatever, primary goal for me, excuse me, was always to hold the hair pretty much in place because again, if I was working long hours, working through the night even, going to the gym, stuff like that, playing football when I was younger, I didn't really want my hair flopping all over the place, whether it's short, long, whatever. And obviously in the rain, in the wind, for people who've ever experienced that, it tends to mess your hair up. So again, depending on the style you're going for, I always considered pomades to be the ultimate in terms of the hairstyle I have, and obviously I think that they're the most versatile overall, more than gels, more than hairsprays and so on. But back to the CREMO sculpting clays. So it's, yeah, kind of a weird like colour, like a grey sludgy colour. Smells very artificial. Sometimes they smell nice, sometimes not. That again, it's not a fragrance, but again, when it smells nice, it smells nice. So yeah, not really unpleasant, not really nice either. Um, in terms of usability, you only have to actually put a little bit on. One thing I can say, it does spread really liquidy once it warms up in your hands. Well, obviously, some clays and waxes in the past tend to be very sticky, very greasy. Again, that gets thrown at a lot of pomades, but that's one thing that I discovered with using quality pomades, or more recently, that isn't an issue. And it isn't with this. If anything, this is kind of like, it doesn't remind me of a clay at all. It actually reminds me of a kind of a weak holding pomade. Um, but again, in terms of the desired look, it does give a more natural matte finish. It's not too wet look sort of style. So in that regard, and for the price as well, I think it was like off of Amazon, it was between 10 £13 50 or whatever. I think it was on offer. I tend to buy these sort of things when they're on offer, because again, they can be kind of expensive if you're paying like 15 $20 £20 for one of these, again, it's up to you. But yeah, so to summarize, it does the job. It's nothing special. One thing I can say, I do like the fact that it gives a more natural look. Again, a lot of these products, they tend to be very heavy, hard to wash out. Not always, but a lot of them do. And you only have to use a less of this than some other products. So overall, for value and for the finish it gives, it does give a matte finish. I'd say a 7.5 out of 10. The only reason it doesn't get an 8, which again, some of the better products are reviewed in the past, like the black and white pomade, King Brown, Fudge Urban Matte Wax Light. The list goes on. There's a lot of good hair products that I've reviewed that are 8s, 8.5s out of 10. So this doesn't quite get there purely because of the fact that the hold, I'm not going to mess my hair up, but the hold, and again, I've experienced this in the wind, kind of mucks your hair up. It doesn't hold it as well as other products. So again, as I go back to, when you buy a product, obviously you look at the description of what it's supposed to do. A lot of these products are similar, but they're meant to do slightly different things. Like if you put a high hold gel in your hair, you expect it to hold your hair all day. When I was younger, I used to have like sort of a Sonic the Hedgehog, like Mohican spiked hair, or sometimes, or in the late 90s, early 2000s, having a quiff that went slightly to the side that was spiked up. That was again the trend in fashion for men's hair. Not all, but for a vast majority, especially in the UK and America and so on, and Europe as well. That was the thing that young men had. And back then, you wanted a product that would hold your hair. So again, I'll go back to, it's still good, it's recommended, but again, I have reviewed better products on my channel. Them videos are up there for you to see. And as I mentioned, like the black and white pomade, King Brand hair pomade, Tanox hold pomade, you know, the list goes on. So there's several products I would rate above this. But again, if you saw this on offer, it's still a good product. And again, for someone who maybe has shorter hair or just kind of wants more of a light product, something that they can wash out easily, something that technically, if you add water, it could be restyled as well, which is similar to the Suavecito, which again, that was one of my favorites that ticked all of the boxes. So, but expensive. So to summarise, CREMO sculpting clay, high hold, no, it's more of a low to medium, but it does give a natural matte finish. A 7.5 out of 10. So if you see it on offer, recommended. But if you see the others that I mentioned on offer, I would go for them personally. And there's nothing more I can say. So I'll end the video there.